So, self-concept is a term that is very popular in the, we're going to say, lifestyle, self-improvement, manifestation, and all of the major, we're going to change our life, trends, niches, topics, content, all of that content, self-concept has become a very hot, a very trending, and a very interesting and intriguing topic to cover. And I think that it's very vital to changing your life. Self-concept is necessary to actually truly change your life. What is self-concept though? And, what kind of self-concept are you needing to embody in order to obtain your dream life? Because everybody wants to say this is the self-concept or this is the self-concept. But the truth is that everybody needs to embody a different self-concept, and everybody really needs to identify the self-concept that they are trying to align themselves with. And not only that, but you need to figure out how to actually do it. I mean, where do you start? Because most of us, our self-concept is simply how we've been raised to think about ourselves, how we've been raised to think about ourselves in relation to others. And it's hard to let go of that, the traditional mindset, the habitual mindset that you have inherited, that you've grown up with, that you have developed over the years of your life and existence. So, today, I am going to be sharing with you 5 ways and 5 tips for how you can start to embody the self-concept that is going to allow you to live your dream life today, and that is going to attract that dream life and bring that dream life into your reality the more you embody this self-concept. So what is self-concept? What is it actually? And self-concept in its most basic form is how you view yourself. Okay, so this is who I am, this is how I operate, these are the things that I like, this is how my existence, this is how I relate to other people, and that is your self-concept, what you view yourself as. Do you view yourself as somebody that's nothing really to write home about? Or is your self-concept one that is, I'm capable, I'm amazing, I'm worthy, I'm valuable? What is your self-concept? How do you view yourself? What do you think of yourself? When you are simply sitting by yourself, what do you think of yourself without any other voices in your head, without any other people saying anything to you? What do you think of you? What is your view? How do you see yourself? When you look in the mirror, when you look in this metaphorical mirror, what do you see? What do you see? Now, the key to embodying the self-concept that you want to embody, the key to embodying the self-concept that's right for you, that's appropriate for you, and that is going to allow you to live your dream life, is that you need to figure out who your dream version of yourself is. Like, who is she? And what does she identify herself as? How does she view herself? When she looks in the mirror, what does she see? So that is step 1, is figure out who your dream version is. Like, who are you? Who are you? If you are a business owner, or if you are somebody who has a really important role at whatever job you have, or if you are a mother, if you are a whatever it is, what is that dream version of yourself? What does she look like? What is she thinking? What kind of attitude does she embody? When she wakes up in the morning and she starts going on through her day and starts functioning, what are her thoughts about herself? What is she constantly playing about herself? What does she think of herself? What does she believe about herself? Most likely she's not thinking, oh, this is impossible, I'm not capable of doing this, I'm I'm just little old me, I'm this, I'm that. No, she's probably thinking something a little bit more positive, right? She's probably thinking something a little bit more along the lines of, you know what, I'm worthy of this, I'm capable of this, I was built for this, I have the tools that I need, I have the knowledge I need, I have the skills that I need, I have what I need to make this happen. That's most likely sort of a snippet of what she's thinking. Now, when you identify your dream life and the dream version of yourself, which we have talked about that in previous episodes and in previous videos here, and all about identifying who she is. Who is your dream version of yourself? What is your dream life? What does it look like? What does it look like? We've talked about that on a number of occasions and in a number of videos. And this idea is precisely what I do when I am coaching people and when I am talking to people, is that I'm trying to help them figure out, what does she look like? And in the most basic form, what do you want? What does she have? What does she have that you don't? What does dream you have that you don't? And no, it's not money, and no, it's not better looks, and no, it's not this or that. It's a purpose. It's a drive. It's a intention. It's an intention. That is what she has. So what is it? You need to identify who she is precisely. And once you identify who she is, then you are better able to figure out, like, oh, this is what she feels like. This is what she feels like. When I realized who the dream version of myself was, when I opened my eyes and really figured her out, and trust me, this is an ongoing process. You're constantly figuring out who the dream version of you is. And I like to look at the dream version of myself as sort of an acquaintance that becomes more and more and more of a best friend. You get to know more about them. You get to learn more about them. You understand them a little bit better every day. And I realized that the dream version of myself wasn't afraid of being different and wasn't afraid of doing weird things for her career. And I realized that the dream version of myself saw myself as an equal to all of the great people, the successful people that had gone before me. And that leads me to my second point, which is, how does your dream version of yourself relate to others? And I've talked about this also in a previous video about self-concept. And that is, it's the idea of, do you see yourself as equal? Dream version of yourself sees herself as equal. And I like to put it in terms of, okay, so you are in this field or in this position of some sort, whether it's a job, whether it's just the fact that, just a lifestyle, whatever it is. There are people in this industry or in this area or in this industry, basically, who have gone before you, who have succeeded before you. Let's say that I wanted to be a super incredibly fit individual, a super fit person. Okay, I want to be so fit, so healthy, peak health, incredibly fit. Who's a person in the fitness industry, we're going to say, that has achieved a lot? Well, what comes straight to my mind is somebody like Jillian Michaels, we're going to say. To name a couple of YouTubers, we're going to say Caroline Gervan, Gains by Brains, Sophie from Gains by Brains. These people that they are incredibly healthy. They live these incredibly healthy lifestyles. Now, if I'm not living a current lifestyle, how do I view them? How do I view that person? In my unhealthy state, how do I view those people? I view those people as, holy cow, you're amazing. I just adore you. I wish I could be like you. I wish. You put them on a pedestal. And when you put them on a pedestal, they're impossible to reach, basically. The self-concept that I talked about in the previous video, and that I think is honestly the ultimate self-concept for anybody to embody when it comes to relating to other people around you, and that is the self-concept of equality. So instead of looking at these fitness moguls, we're going to say, these people who have achieved such an incredible fitness success, instead of looking at them and putting them on a pedestal, what if I looked at them and said, I'm equal to them? And believed that. What if I embodied this self-concept of, I'm equal? I can do the same thing. I am equal. Because we're all humans. It doesn't matter what we've achieved. We're all equal. But instead of putting them on this pedestal of achievement, why don't we balance the scales a little bit and say, you know what, I'm equal to them. They're human, I'm human. We can both do the same thing. That means that I can have the same exact level of physique in this instance. And this is true for anything you're pursuing. Whether it's social media, whether it's a business, whether it's a job, whether it's whatever it is, anything in your life. There is somebody who has, by social standards, done it better. There's somebody out there who's done it better. You're equal to them. So how does the dream version of you relate to the other super successful people within the industry that your dream version of yourself is operating within? How does she relate to those other people? She sees herself as equal. I can almost guarantee you that she sees herself as an equal. And there are other things that she might see herself as in relation to those people. She might see them as my peers. She might see them as my friends. She might see them as some people to learn from, people to gain knowledge from, people to network with. She sees them as something different than what we're going to say little old us sees them as. Instead of seeing them as unreachable, dream version of you sees them as completely reachable, completely accessible, and that she is worthy of communicating with them, being around them. She's worthy of their presence. She's worthy of a relationship with them of some sort. Whether or not she has it, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is that she believes she's worthy and she believes that she is equal. The third way that I think is incredibly important when it comes to embodying the dream life self-concept is, what thoughts or beliefs about the dream version of yourself does she not have about herself? I think that is super important. What thoughts does she not think about herself? What thoughts does she not think in general? I know that for me, what I realized was that the dream version of myself did not think that a job on social media was impossible. She did not think that a job on social media was difficult to have. She doesn't think that she's unworthy. She utilizes what she has. She utilizes her assets, the value that she has, what she's got in her toolkit. She utilizes it because she believes that all of it is possible. She believes she's worthy of the career she's got. She's worked for it, but she also believes that it's 100% possible. She's not sitting there thinking, if only. No, she's got it. She's got it already. So the dream version of myself is not thinking, this is impossible. I should just not do it. The dream version of myself is thinking, yeah, this is 100% possible because it's who I am. I've done it. And so I'm going to take the actions that I need to take to keep this going. I know the actions that I need to take. I'm comfortable taking them. Another thought that the dream version of myself does not have is, what are they thinking? I realize that the dream version of myself, like I've already discussed, she's not thinking about, oh, what is so-and-so thinking of me? No, she is in her own little bubble of a universe, doing her own little thing, thriving at it, doing it well. She is operating on a different plane. She is operating in a place where, you know what, it doesn't matter what so-and-so from this place thinks of me. I don't care. I really don't care because I'm successful here. I've succeeded here. And so it doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter if they think that my job is stupid. I really can't give two craps about what they think of me. That is where the dream version of myself operates. And those are thoughts that she doesn't have. She doesn't have these thoughts of self-consciousness. She doesn't have these thoughts of, I don't know, is it possible? Can I do it? No, she doesn't have that. So what thoughts does your dream version of yourself, what thoughts does she not have? What does she not have? What is she not thinking on repeat? What thought cycles does she not have? I like to think of it as this circle going around and around and around. You know, I think this and I think that and I think this and I think that, and it just goes in a circle and I just think the same thing, and it's almost like this whirlwind of a thought that it just keeps circling. She doesn't have that. Dream version of me doesn't have that. At least not in the negative form. Not in the it's impossible form. Those aren't the thoughts that she's thinking. So what thoughts or beliefs about yourself is the dream version of yourself not thinking? What thoughts do you have right now that dream you, she doesn't have anymore? She is not operating out of that space and out of that mindset any longer. The fourth way that you can embody the self-concept of your dream version of yourself is to identify what the dream you does every day. What the dream you does every day. What are the small things she does? What are the staples that she does? What are the things that, you know what? Yep, this is just a part of my life. This is just what I'm doing. I just automatically do this. For me, dream me, number one, she gets ready in the morning. She always gets ready in the morning. Number two, she exercises regularly. Doesn't have to be for hours and hours, but she exercises. Regarding my career, I realized that dream me, she is very consistent on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. She's posting consistently. She's not scared of it. She's posting on stories. She's doing these things. She's sharing about her life. She's creating a relationship with her followers, with her community. That's what dream me is doing. That's what she's doing. She's not sitting on the couch scrolling through Instagram wishing that she could have that life. No, she's creating. She's doing. And she's not scared. It's just a part of her life now. It's just a part of her life. Because she's not thinking those thoughts of self-doubt and I don't know if I'm worthy and what if so-and-so sees this. She's not thinking those things. She's thinking, this is my job. This is my life. These are the things that I do every day. It's just a part of my life. I live a healthy lifestyle. This is my career. These are the things that I do to create that career and keep that career going. So what is the dream version of yourself? How is she living? What is she doing? Small things. Small things. Maybe dream you, maybe she doesn't eat Twinkies. I don't know. Like maybe she is not doing this. Maybe she drinks a smoothie every morning. Maybe she cleans up her space. Maybe she has a habit of cleaning up after herself and tidying her space every evening. What small things, what big things, but what small things is the dream version of you doing? And I encourage you that once you identify what dream you does every day, those small things, those big things, those staples in her life, her routine, once you identify what she's doing, and once you start saying, you know what, okay, this week I'm going to add this to my routine because this is what Dream Me is doing, so I'm going to add that to my routine. Once you do that, it becomes a whole lot easier to embody the self-concept of your dream version of yourself. It becomes very easy to understand her, to feel like her, and to operate like her when you embody her day, basically. When you say, you know what, that's her day, it's going to be my day now. That's going to be my day. That's how I function. That's going to be my morning routine. Those are going to be things that I do every day. It's not reserved for her. Because guess what? In order to get there, those are the things that she started doing. Those are the things that she started doing. So, you need to identify how the dream version of yourself actually lives her life. How does she live? How does she operate? How does she function? What does she do? What does she do? And the fifth tip that I wanted to give you about embodying this self-concept of your dream version of yourself is I want you to identify how the dream version of yourself views her career, her work, and her money. How does she view that? Because I find that those three areas are definitely very prominent. I noticed that they were very prominent for me. And perhaps for you, it is, how she views her relationships. Perhaps it's, things like that. But certainly career and money, you need to really identify how the dream version of you how she views those areas of her life. How does she view them? I realized that for me, the dream version of myself really wasn't worried about money at all. She had enough. She's got enough. Maybe she doesn't have billions of dollars, but she's got enough. She's not worried about it. She's smart with her money. She has invested her money. Perhaps she has a very simple financial system that she's sticking to, a simple budget that she's sticking to, but she's not worried about it. She's not thinking about it. Money is the last thing on her mind. It's the last thing on her mind. She is not thinking about it. She's not worried about it. How does she view her career and her work? She views her career and her work as something that she's very passionate about. If she's not passionate about it, she's not going to do it. If it doesn't inspire her, she's not going to do it. If it isn't an intuitive action or something that it just feels like I've got to do this is necessary, I feel very purposeful behind this action that I'm taking in my career. If it doesn't feel like that, then she's not doing it. And I realized that that's a good place to be. And that's where I need to be right now. Instead of chasing money, okay, because all of that bundled up into chasing money, instead of chasing money, what if money became the last thing on my mind and I said, you know what, if I'm not passionate about it, I'm not doing it. If I'm not passionate about it, I'm not doing it. And that is a big reason why I actually started coaching people, was because I felt this need to actually help people, to actually interact with people, to actually say, you know what, I want to help you. I want to help you. I want to interact with you. I want to talk with you and understand you, and I want to have a relationship with you. Money is not about money. Instead of chasing another job, instead of chasing all of these freelance jobs or this 8-to-5 job, or, instead of chasing all of these things just to get money, what if I said, money is the last thing on my mind. I just want to be passionate about what I'm doing. The money will come. The money will come, okay? But what if I just operated out of what I'm passionate about? What if I just operated out of purpose, out of intention, and out of this desire to help people, and out of this desire to actually impact people, instead of this need to make a certain amount. What if I operated out of the money's coming, whatever, but I'm helping people. I have impact. I have power. I have a voice in somebody's life, and I'm able to help them figure out their life. What if I stuck with that? What if I operated out of that instead of this place of gotta get the money, gotta get the cash, gotta find it, gotta pay? What if I operated on a completely different plane? What if I operated on a completely different plane? So to wrap it up, the first tip is to figure out who the dream version of yourself is. Okay, that's like the first step to anything. Like, who is she? What does she look like? Who is she? Who is she? Step number 2 is to figure out how the dream version of yourself relates to other successful people within the industry that she operates. How does she relate to them? How does she view herself in relation to them? Step 3 is, what are the thoughts and beliefs about herself that she does not have? What thoughts and beliefs does she not have about herself? What has she stripped from her mind and she no longer thinks? Step 4 is, how does she live her life? What are the small things, what are the big things that she is doing on a daily basis in order to live the life that she lives? What is she doing? What is she doing? What are her routines? What are her little thises and that's throughout her day? And step number 5 is, how does the dream version of yourself view her career, her work, and her money? How does she view that? What are her thoughts surrounding that? And that is how you embody the self-concept of the dream version of yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today and joining me on this journey to discovering self-concept, the self-concept of your dream version of yourself and who she is and how she operates. I hope that this was very helpful. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode where we will be talking a lot about whether or not you should be trying to actually be relatable. I think that a lot of people assume that they need to be relatable in some sort of way in order to be successful, and we're just going to sort of break that down and really discover whether or not you really do need to be relatable as you are pursuing your dream life. Thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure you subscribe to stay in the loop with my future videos, and until we meet again, so long.